Zhongli. And why I choose Zhongli for now? Let's talk about like undervalued. And probably last time in the video, Kazuha video, I actually say I might post about new flat, but I actually think about more. I think this guy deserves more, and new flat actually do not deserve that undervalued title very much because it's just only comparison. So I actually going to make other video about new flat especially. And now let's talk about Zhongli. And actually, Zhongli is the opposite of what Kazuha gets. The treatment towards Kazuha. The Zhongli treatment is pretty kind of weird because you probably actually see a lot of spiral piece usage or anything, and you probably going to see this guy actually going to absolutely top of the list. But he always, and many people say this thing: you don't need him. It's just only for end game. He actually do not give you enough damage, and I'm going to also like this is probably going to be the misconception of Zhongli, and there's so many of them. And I think this is the definition of under fucking valued. Like this is too much undervalued. The first one is, like I said, damage loss. Damage loss. And secondly, just a shielder. And fun fact, this is actually still a common trope about people talking about Zhongli. Okay, what the hell? About Zhongli. Yes, this is pretty common. Okay, I cannot fucking type pretty. Yeah, you know what? Pretty common. Like, you can try ask your friend what's the opinion about Zhongli, and they going to say he is a good shielder, and that's it. And probably he going to talk about more, but most of people going to say he is a good shielder. But what is the mean good shielder? And this is where the misconception comes from. And other things about him is damage loss, but it's in different way with its burst and skill, because he actually didn't do any damage except his burst, but his burst is very long, and the animation is like 2 seconds, I think. And I don't want to getting energy, so I'm not going to show you. You can just check people who play Zhongli. And the other misconception with Zhongli is he always compared with other alternative, and but this alternative is buffer, and this is also where the misconception goes. And now I'm going to talk why this misconception is wrong, and I'm just going to separate it. And this is going to firstly just say there is Archaic Petra, okay, and people is actually don't know what the fuck is this artifact. And you're probably going to watch this video and thinking that, what is that artifact? And you suddenly just read it for like, just try read it and for 10 seconds, and you find out, oh, well, that's good. And fun fact, it's actually very noticed. Like, there's a lot of people actually use this, and instead this is first warning. This is the first warning, and I'm going to set it like this. Yeah, this is the first warning, and is okay. Fuck my life. Is Milelit. on Zhongli. And why this is absolutely, I'm quite anti with this. And let me show you what that artifact actually does. I actually have it because the more I play this game, the more I actually don't think Tenacity Millet is actually fucking good. This, you just increase your shield strength and increase all of the party members' attack 20%. Fun fact, 20%, it seems like, oh, that's good, right? That is like 10%, 20% more damage. No, that is probably like 4 or 5%, or not even 4%, even 3%. When I mean 20% of attack, this attack, not this attack, but the base attack increased by 20%, which is for Argentino, my Argentino is fucking 200, bro. And now try compare it with Archaic Petra, and you might think 35% damage bonus. Now try to think a little bit. 20% attack or 35% pyro damage bonus. Take your foot, like just take one. If you choose attack, wow, that's crazy. And this is the first problem. And because of people using melee elite, people don't know the potential of buff that Zhongli can give. And this is the misconception about this. Just a shielder is no. 20% rest rate. And if you use Archaic Petra, which absolutely you have to, is Archaic damage bonus. And why is there's 20%? And this is where the good thing about Zhongli. This one. Wait, wrong. This one. Wait, what? Okay, wait. Is it in here? Oh, okay, never mind. I think it's, yeah, it's in here. Okay, what? I thought it's here. What? Okay. Anyways, and this is absolutely crazy. And before you think that this thread is not crazy, is a half of VV. I have VV in here. Is a half of VV. And but the good part of Zhongli is instead on this thread, you get a shield. You get a shield. You get a shield. And well, you receive no damage and you get buff, which means you basically immortal. Kinda, yeah. I say kinda because they're those doggy things, yeah. Yeah, the only bad things about Zhongli is probably just corrosion and some stupid enemy. I don't think there's no much enemy that can actually destroy. And actually no, Zhongli shield can be destroyed, but it's so very tanky that it's basically for me is unbreakable. Yeah. And this is the main conception here. And just only these two, I'm going to show you what Kazuha potential here. Like this is for my yapping session of Kazuha. You can check it after this video if you want to. Right now, it's actually better for now because I already talked about Kazuha. But just like a fast detail is Kazuha give, like I already say this, right? Kazuha give 40% damage bonus and a VV. And a VV, let me repeat again, and a VV. That 40% damage bonus and a VV can be ignored with you just bring a good energy slash a VV user, which usually either Farusan or Lynette. And why Kazuha? You can actually use Kazuha as that, but for me, the energy that from Kazuha generate is not that great. And remember, if your characters, example, like imagine you that I have 144 here, it can be decreased to 110, and my crit damage can be increased like 25% crit damage, or like my HP can be increased by 2k. That is more buff, maybe not 2k, maybe like 4k. That is more buff than an entire Kazuha buff. That is crazy. When I mean Kazuha buff, not PV, remember. But the 30 to 40% damage bonus buff is more. And now I'm going to ask you again, why Zhongli, why I talk about Kazuha and compare it to Zhongli? Because what Kazuha do is pretty much like what Zhongli can do, with a less more, like the buff is lesser, but he create this. And you might think, shield, I can dodge, I can dodge, I can dodge, I can dodge, I can iframe, I can iframe, yeah. But I probably going to say this is if you iframing and dodging, you actually kind of wasting a time. I actually going to say this because for me, like, imagine you playing new flat, but you need to go here and just again, and you need to run a little bit and just again. That is fucking annoying, right? And remember, when you move, when the enemy can move, but with Zhongli, you actually don't give a fuck and just kill the enemy in front of you. That's why, for me, he actually very good with certain characters. And before I end, then say that this is the buff that Zhongli actually do, there's one more. And double geo is actually one. If not, the only broken shit I actually forgot out is one of the broken shit about Zhongli. Yes, and this is, you get increase. You can see here, if you're protected by shield, increase by 15%. And I'm going to say you, that is absolutely a monster buff. And this literally, like this, you can pair up, like, you can pair up with like Silonen, or you can pair up with Geo Traveler, example, Geo Traveler, and you can get a crit rate buff, remember, because you're Constellation 1, right? Crit rate buff, and you basically cannot be killed. And you get crazy amount of buff that makes Kazuha literally kinda shit. And for me, that's why I do think Zhongli is very good characters. But the problem with people actually just only see him like this. And that's why for me Zhongli is absolutely better than absolutely. And because you're immortal and you get crazy buff that can even compete against a little buffer, which is Kazuha, makes Kazuha kinda bad. And I'm going to say this. Remember, yes, Zhongli didn't do any damage, but can you say the same if I say Kazuha actually also don't do much damage? He actually still do damage, but not that much, remember? Now my question is, what's the difference with Zhongli? And I do think that sum up this video. And I hope you kinda like see like more wide view about Zhongli, because I do think Zhongli is pretty much like for me. I see many people just think him like just a shooter. Just screenshot this if you want to and just show to them, and they might change their view. Because for me, I think the misconception is this and this. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. And whether it's tier list or whether I continue tier list or I actually talking about new threat or ship. And see you the next time. See ya.